asked 2 questions. What's the angle of the vertebra at the cervical spine? So there's 2 vertebrae are meeting. Does the joint look like this, or does the joint look like this? What do you think? Yeah, this one. It's at a 45, right? So if we look at these guys right here, I don't know if you can see, but they're angled like this. That tells us a lot when we do mobilization, right? I can't just push straight forward. So if I got 2 joints sitting like this, if I push, so if I'm standing, or let's say I'm laying down, and they're on a 45 like this, heads up here, if I push straight forward, I just push it right in. I have to push up or down at a 45. How's it in our spine, in our lower spine? It's more flat. So we literally can just push straight forward. So in this case, again, they're like this. If I'm laying down, I can literally just push forward or anterior, and it just moves forward. There's not the incline. So we've got to concern ourselves with the incline. And then what do we got to concern ourselves with the thoracic spine? Ribs, right? Ribs, right? Because this is going to be a relatively more stable area, right? Relatively more stable area because I've got full connection, right? I've got a whole cage here that's basically holding together. So there's less mobility here, more mobility here and here, right? So the ribs are really kind of a closed system, right? They're making a kind of a basket or a network. The whole design of this part, we got some valuable resources in here, right? To life, at least, right? So we want to protect that. So it's not a high mobile area. It's not a very mobile area. That can be a problem if you're too non-mobile. So there are some things that we're going to do to stretch and mobilize that. Like a kyphosis problem is not really what we're looking for there. But overall, we're just being a little more cautious between here and here. All right? All right. So we're going to do some thoracic extension. These are things that we've probably kind of looked at before. No, just Julie. I thought it was my wife giving me an update. Dog. I mean, who cares? Julie's texting me. Tell her I said that. She'll enjoy that. I'm muting her. Oh, she's got it on tape that I'm muting her. So thoracic extension. So it's really just range of motion type of stuff. All right. Looks like the pec minor. Someone hop up here. Not won't be too exciting, but hop up on your back. So hook lying means laying on your back with your knees bent, right? That hook lying position. So you kind of look like a hook. All right. Pec major length test is one way. Just remember the pec major length test? Yep, just that. So that's one way to kind of promote some thoracic extension. Obviously, he's fine. He has no issues there. We can progress to arm overhead or arms out to the side, especially if I had a smaller bench, like a weight bench or something where his arms wouldn't be. If I could bring him out here and do this, he might get a little more stretch there because he's just falling a little below neutral. Again, certainly if he could just let him hang down, that would be even better. I could give overpressure if he could go somewhere. We can do some extension in a couple of different ways. Now, this would be rough. I would put a guy maybe on like that, but that would be challenging. So there's half rolls. Everyone's probably seen a roll that's cut in half, just half the size. It's a little more gentle. We've got a couple of options that we can do there. So not as rough would be this way. Let's have you kind of bridge up or something so I can bridge your butt up so I can put this on. There you go. Bang, now back down. So that gets me in that position of, hey, he's got a little more to go to now. So if he's out here, he's still working extension, which is fine. The harder, get off of there if you don't mind, would be this position. That can be kind of rough. Like I said, he's hopping up and down here. I wouldn't have any problem with him doing it. But that, in kind of rolling back, is going to be a little more challenging. This, on my little 90-year-old lady that I'm really trying to get something with, I might start with something a little more low than this, or maybe a half roll, right? And then firmness is a lot to do with it. That might even be just a little bit sore on him. I mean, it's firm. Versus this is going to have a little bit of give to it, all right? So those are spinal extension, thoracic extension, all right? Sit right over the edge. In a supine position. So that's progressing the foam roll. We have talked about this before. We can do this sitting progression. So if they're at work, like I said, we tend to be like this. So we're gonna tell them to kind of sit in their chair and this type of thing. You have your hands up and go over it, all right? I don't have this listed down, but I'm at least gonna try to show it to you. Lay your back.
Hey Eric.
Yeah.
In that sitting one, can you put, I've seen it done in my clinic, they put a towel there
Oh, yeah.
for them to do that?
Yeah, in this case, this hit me real perfect because it was right at the right spot. And then again, I'm not sore at all. But like I said, towel can do one thing. It can create a fulcrum for you to go over, or it can create some padding if it's kind of tender to go over. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with it for sure. Thoracic mobs you can do, all right? We commonly do like an anterior mobilization, and really, probably when I do more thoracic mob is probably with shoulder problems, right? And again, especially those shoulder problems that aren't getting better. I talked about shoulder problems that aren't getting better. I start looking at the AC joint and the SC joint. Probably more than that though, I look at the spine, right? If I'm here, how high can I lift my arm? That's as high as I can go, right? So I need my thoracic spine to do that. Now, we're not looking for you to be a compensator, because if you're doing good goniometry, you should watch for this. This isn't right? I'm not going to 180 by doing that, right? But I still need thoracic extension. So, roll to your stomach. You can, so if we're doing lumbar, right, or thoracic mobilizations, we usually use your hypothenar eminence, all right? So this spot right here. So I'm gonna just find the spot. Now in his case, let's assume he's the shoulder guy, or the guy that just has a little kyphosis. So I'm not necessarily looking for an individual spot, all right? I could, or probably should, have a pillow underneath here, just kind of for comfort and also to get him in a good position. But basically, I'm just gonna have my hand. Now this is where I need to be high. I'm looking for a stool. I didn't see a stool. I need to be, this needs to be low, right? That's why I need a standing stool. Because I need to be up over him, right? I need to be like this. I really would need his table to be lower down. And then all I'm doing, when I've got the spot, I'm just there, right? And then depending on my grade now. So I'm just taking my other hand and I'm doing grade 1 or grade 2, grade 3, and then grade 4 is that, really big of bounce. You might get a pop there. Again, it's important that you say that you don't say, I'm going to pop your back. There are some classes you could go to where you wanted to pop your back. That's that. Roll back to your back. A lot of people prefer, I don't like this pistol. They talk about this pistol stance with your fingers, and you kind of put it underneath there. Basically, you're using your hand as the fulcrum. So I find the spot, I'm going to show you on this. So I kind of find the spot where I'm going to do the mobilization and put that grip. And basically, that's what it's mobilizing over, the joint right above that. I'm going to have him cross his arms, and then I'm pushing through his chest to kind of mobilize his back. So I'm using his force of his body and mine over the fulcrum of my finger. I don't like it. It's not as comfortable on my fingers. But a lot of people actually prefer this method. I don't know if I'm just not good at it, but I just don't like it as much. He's going to be an interesting one because what you're supposed to do, meaning he's pretty good size, so I'm supposed to kind of wrap around him. So I'm going to get my grip like that. Then he's going to have his arm crossed. And that is the good thing. I'm right here in his face, and then I'm basically just doing this, and that's the mobilization. Okay. So it looks something like this. He's going to roll. I'm going to kind of find his spine, and then I get into that position, and then I roll him back. All right, and then once he's there, I just do that type of thing. Okay, so I'm giving pressure through his arms. All right, with this kind of grip, this kind of pistol position there, so it's fulcruming over my hand. That works spinal extension. I like you on your stomach. That's what I do. It doesn't crush my fingers. It's just kind of easy to do. I have no problem doing that. You can try either of them. All right. So instead of let's do those 3 or 4 things. Not a lot, but let's work a little bit of that spinal. So again.